You know what? Let's since we here now.
We here.
Yeah, got Gibbs going.
No. We're not gonna get into that. We're gonna save it. But you know, we've done a little bit of a rebrand. A little bit, just a tad bit. And with that being said, we want to let the folks know that we're still the same us. You know, we're not acting totally different in the new year. It is a new year, new us approach, but we're not going to act totally different on y'all. But we got to keep our roots, our foundation. And one of our roots is always the would you rather / what's going on conversation. And this time, I'm going to start off with this. What are some of the best and worst New Year's resolutions that y'all have ever heard? Or that you've ever had for yourself? Either one. Or you can just tell us your New Year's resolutions for this year.
I don't even really want to go. I guess I'll go with the cliche ones, like, oh, I'm going to start working out or this or that. Just because, like, I've never been a New Year's resolution kind of person. Like, if I'm going to make a change and I'm going to start doing better, I've always been like a cold turkey kind of person. Like, let's say, I don't know. For example, I'm wildly lactose intolerant. And I used to bang ice cream like every day. You cannot give me any sweets, but ice cream, like me, ice cream was locked in like these. But like once I found out I was lactose intolerant and I had to like cut dairy out of my diet, I did it almost cold turkey. Like every blue moon, I still get some ice cream, but it's just like it's not that important. I've always been a cold turkey kind of person. So if I need to stop something or if I want to make a change, I kind of just do it.
Ice cream every day is such a crazy thing.
I was a fat kid growing up. Y'all knew me before I was somewhat in shape.
Bro, I don't think you understand. I was turned my jersey inside out fat. If you don't understand what that means, back in the day, there was this thing called the PAL League, the Police Athletic League, and they used to have this thing called weight limits. And if your big ass was over the weight limit, you would have to stand there, turn your jersey inside out, and give the little administrators your shoulder pads because you couldn't play. And I had to do that for almost like a whole season. Like that's the type of time I was on. You understand? And I wasn't doing ice cream every day. That's crazy, bro. That's you a sick brother. This is a sick Negro, as they say. But Chris, talk to me. You can give us your New Year's resolution for this year or the best and worst you've ever heard.
So the best I ever heard was like my first job, like when I was working at this place called AECOM. It was like a civil engineering internship that I worked, right? Mm-hmm. So it was like we was doing this big project in Detroit, right? And the guy I was working with, they like every time he wasn't around, they was telling us how bad he was, how much they want to fire him and stuff like that. And he was a brother, so I was like, I'm gonna just tell bro, like, this is what they be saying. He's like, oh, I already know, man. I was like, okay. He was like, nah, next year I'm locking in on work. I'm gonna be employee of the month, 3 months next year. I was like, okay, they about to fire you before next year.
You could try to change, but that's just the top layer.
Right.
It was when you got here.
But no, so I worked there for like a year and a half while I was in college, right? Mm-hmm. When I tell you, bro came to work January 2nd, night and day, like Gibbs, like bro came really night and day. Hey, night and day. Like he
did it.
Oh no, this is not right. This is not right. I put him to the side like, bro, you all right? Like you just starting the year off right? Like this ain't you for real though, is it? He was like, no. Come May, they promoted him. He went from about to get fired to get promoted. I was like, bro, his turnaround story is crazy. His turnaround story was crazy, bro.
Bro came employee.
He was about to get put on a pit, and he came employee of the month.
Love that for him. Bro. The worst one that I hear all the time, and like I hate to say it, but like we gotta talk about it. I'ma lose like 100 pounds in the new year. No, you're not, right? And here's the thing.
Oh, girls, stop posting the workout videos, Chris. I don't know if you noticed.
Hey, I'm Pete.
Y'all finna stress me out, bro.
She wasn't losing not a pound. I was like, bro, she worked out 6-7 days a week and lost a drop.
Because, bro,
what's the job?
if you look at the stories, bro, the first story be working out, and the second story be a chili cheese fry, bro. That's not nutritional.
Hey, and then the third story be drinking. Drink.
They got chili cheese fries for $2 on Tuesdays. What you want her to do?
Man.
L. Georges be going crazy with the deals. What you want her to do? But more importantly, let me tell you, here's the reason why I hate that one in particular. It's not like the people who say they want to work out, they want to get more in shape, I rock with you. But like when you're like, hey, I need to lose weight by like any cost necessary, 9 times out of 10, it's just gonna like yo-yo back. Like even if you do get there, not even talking about like how discouraging that is as an actual goal, like how big that is in terms of like most people do not have a legit 100 pounds on them to just lose like that. Like Chris, if you lost 100 pounds right now, you would be what 120 or something like that?
I would be 130, bro. I would be 130, bro.
You just don't have. Most people don't have 100 pounds to lose, and it's just like they throw out arbitrary numbers that just like don't make sense. You know what I mean? Like it's like, bro, you're not that big. You don't have that much weight to lose. I'm gonna lose 50 pounds this year. Your chest is gonna be showing. Like your rib cage is gonna be exposed, brother. What are you doing here? Like,
and then to that
like
point,
I want to work out more and all that because that's a sustainable lifestyle. Like, regardless of how much weight you do or don't lose, you can stick to that forever.
Right.
As opposed to like, oh, I lost some weight and boom, it's back.
And to your point, Gibbs, like people don't realize that if you really go hard in the gym for like 6 months, right, 7 days a week, that's not sustainable as your life get busy, right? So as soon as you stop doing that 7 days a week, you're gonna gain weight back and be trying to figure out what's wrong, right? You have to condition your body to something that's actually sustainable. Like me, I stopped doing the 6 days a week at the gym, stopped going every day and then doing hard workouts. Some days I go to the gym and do a light workout. Some days I go do I want to kill myself workout, like a workout where I'm like really like sweating, drenched in sweat, right? So that's sustainable, right? That's something that my body get used to. So I second everything you just said, man.
That's facts. That's facts. Again, I'm not against you wanting to lose weight. I'm just against putting an arbitrary number that you're not like. You haven't talked to a nutritionist. You haven't talked to a dietitian. You haven't talked to any professional that knows weight. And don't get me wrong. I know that those resources are often expensive. So I'm not like making fun of you because you can't afford to do it. I'm just saying like do some research into what could potentially work best for your body, what percentage of your weight you could feasibly lose without hurting yourself. And again, how to best do it. Because like when you put an arbitrary weight, 9 times out of 10 you end up on that Atkins diet. I can eat all the bacon I want and still lose weight. My brother, sister, friend in Christ, please.
With that being said, didn't y'all have a New Year's resolution?
I talked about mine off air, but again, for every dollar I give away, one go to my savings, one go to something I want. So, you know, and that's like for anything. That's like for gifts. That's for, you know, any money I give away just to give away, all that. Like other than paying down debts and all that, like, you know, that's the only money I can give to other people that like does not count in that tally.
Right.
Go ahead, guy. Go ahead.
I don't, like I said, I don't really do the New Year's resolution thing, but since I've been, we haven't had a show in about almost 6 weeks. Part of that is because I've been working, I've been traveling for work, and the past year to 3 been on my head, but 2023 especially was on my head, and a lot of some of those wounds that I went through was self-inflicted. So I got a few new opportunities that's gonna put me on the right path. So I just need to focus on making sure I'm straight and my bread straight. That don't have nothing to do with the new year. It just things lining up just happen to coincide with the new year. So
I heard telling on YSL is a very lucrative thing to do right now. I heard that everybody to do it getting paid. You know what I mean? So
I do that today. If I
Hey, I'm just messing with you. Chris, what you got?
I mean, I'm like, guy, I don't do New Year's resolution, but what I am doing for myself this year is like really fine tuning and growing in areas and fighting some of my demons, right? What I mean by that is I do a lot of stuff because like I'm just is how I always been, right? That can't be an excuse no more, right? And I'm not getting into details on air. I know why y'all
I made that because of your face, bro. You made that face first. You made that face first, bro.
Stop looking at me like that, bro.
You made that face first.
Chris coming employee of the month in 2024. I got you, Chris. I believe.
I mean,
in
but
you.
that's the thing though, Gib. That's the thing though, Gib. Like working all that always be good for me, but like I never sit back and fix the stuff that's wrong with me and my like. I be my homeboy's toxic friend. I don't want that no more. Like I don't want that title no more.
Yeah,
Like,
bro,
I
going
don't
to
want that
therapy.
no more, so.
Bro, going to therapy, and he gonna get
All right,
right.
hold on.
Right, see,
He ain't serious. He ain't serious.
Chris definitely the one to be like, I went to go see the lady. What lady? Just the lady. I went to go see the lady. Leave me alone, bro. You're sicko mentality. But folks, we still got to get into some sports. And of course, we're going to talk a little bit more life stuff than we normally do, but we still got to get into the sports. So let's do it. I know it's been a while. But we are back. Facts over Acts is back, folks. So let's get into it. What's up, y'all? Have a seat. It's your favorite hour of the week. We got the master of the mix and master, Josh Guyton.
That is I.
We got the money man, the man plan, Chris Allen.
Right here.
And then you got the little old MC, that's me, Kenton Gibbs. And folks, this is Facts Over Acts, okay? With the sports, we're going to get you right, and we're going to talk a little bit of life. And the first thing that we got to talk about, okay? We all know the Lions got robbed. We know. Y'all know. I know. The NFL know. That's why they keep trying to double and triple down. But
my thing is, if you go rob them, if you go do them dirty like that, like do it in a way to where you're not insulting us. You know what I mean? Like do some kind of like made up rule that unless you a super football head, you don't know about. We watched this man go up to the referee and be like, "Yeah, I'm eligible." We watched it.
Rub this chest and everything. Taylor Decker did this number and everything.
I was watching the game with my shorty and she was like, "I just seen him talk to my mans," and she don't watch football at all.
Yeah. You know what I hate the most? When they get the wrong call and then tell us they got the wrong call. Like, just don't even tell me you got the wrong call.
But that's the
like,
thing.
What is that?
The NFL
what does that help?
The NFL is maintaining that they did nothing wrong, despite the fact that Taylor Decker walked up to him, rubbed the number to show him he's eligible, and Skipper, although Skipper was going toward the ref was already running away.
Yeah, the ref was gone.
Who was eligible, and he got the numbers wrong, and you know.
Well, I know that. I'm saying like in the NBA, for example, they be doing that 2 minute
last
report
2 minute report
stuff.
Right.
Man, but why do we want to know that you cost my parlay? I don't want to know that. I don't want to know.
Here's what I want more than anything else. Here's what I want more than anything else. If you blowing critical calls and critical moments, you either need to be fined or like taking off big games, like
something.
Hey, You on them two teams that's battling for the number 1 draft pick in week 18, bro. You are not finna be on no playoff game in week 17 when you doing it like that, brother. Sorry to tell you, I just can't take it. But you know, it's all right because the Lions have already locked up the division for the first time. By the way, that is the first time in any of our lifetimes that the Lions have won the division. Is that not crazy to think about? Is that not?
It's ridiculous.
And at the same time as the Lions being good, the Browns. Joe Flacco.
2024 Joe Flack.
That brother trying to catch up to Phillip Rivers in the kid category, and apparently he's trying to catch up to him in wins too, because now all of a sudden the Browns are a serious contender with 11 wins as well. Now, fellas,
I ain't gonna lie. How old is Joe Flack?
He got to be about what, 38 now, 37?
Yeah, I think he's 38.
Something along those lines. Let's see. How old is Joe Flacco? But that's not the important part because we got to cross sports real quick. Chris, you talked to it. Yes, Joe Flacco is exactly 38. He's about to turn 39 in 12 days. So, Chris, you told us something on air or off air that I need you to tell these folks on there. Who are the top 2 teams in the NFL at the moment? In the NBA at the moment?
The Wolves and the Thunder. The Wolves and the Thunder are like killing the league right now.
The Timberwolves and the the Oklahoma City Thunder are the top 2 teams in the league. Fellas, which one is more surprising to you? Send the video Edwards and Rudy Gobert and Karl Anthony Towns
So
Shea Gilgeous-Alexander and Chet Holmgren leading the NBA, or both the Lions and the Browns having 11 wins at this point in the season. Talk to me.
So the NBA side is more surprising. The NFL was not surprising because although we didn't necessarily see the Browns having the best season this year, Chris did. He said it on the show. At the same time, the NFL was unpredictable like that sometimes, and we've seen the Browns put together enough pieces over the past few seasons so where they have players out there on the field that are serviceable and know how to win football games. So when you bring those kind of players together in the division that they're in, you can see the Browns stringing together some wins. And then on the Lions side of things,
can you though?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, all right,
bro.
Yeah,
They
you
are
can.
good at every position. They're good at every position.
They are.
We'll get into it. I'll save it.
And when you look at the Lions, on the Lions side of things, everybody, I mean, even when we did our pre-show, I think everybody had the Lions winning. No, Chris had the Bears winning their division. I will never forget
I was
that.
a hater, though. I was being a hater, though.
But you know, people was going into this season.
Fields, you had the boys winning it.
People was going into this season talking about the Lions winning the division, which, you know, they ended up doing. So that's not surprising. However, on the NBA side of things, we all been NBA fans our whole life, and we usually see a slow transition between these young teams like Bubba. For example, like Golden State, like we saw them squeaking towards the playoffs and getting deep going up until they won that championship. Or even a Denver, if you look back at it, Denver was sniffing the conference finals for 4 or 5 years. Right. The Thunder, we haven't seen anything out of them to make us think that they would make this huge leap. I mean, of course, they have talented players. They got SGA, who is arguably the best point guard in the league. They got Chet Holmgren, which he's developing a lot faster than we thought, but he also had a full year of being in the NBA locker room and trainer's table to get ready. You got Josh Kiddey. I just wanted to add that in. But nothing told us that they would be from this team that's like sniffing the play-in to be in the number 2 seed in the Western Conference. We usually see that bubble up. And then on the Timberwolves side of things, it's the Timberwolves. The Timberwolves been garbage our entire life. The only time we ever remember them being good is with KG. And even then, their second best player was what? Wally Zerbiak? So we never seen the Timberwolves beat.
He trending right now too for calling Halliburton.
Oh yeah,
I thought it was. Wasn't it Spreewell though for a minute? Like the tail end of Spreewell though.
No, Spreewell was before. Spreewell. This was Spreewell in the Knicks or T-Wolves first.
He was there 2 years. No, he was with T-Wolves first. Then he went to the Knicks, right?
Right, yeah, no. So when they was balling, I think they point guard was Hudson. I think Hudson was their point guard when it was in the conference finals.
It was Sam Cassell.
It was Sam Cassell. Hudson was off the bench.
Yeah, it was Sam Cassell, Spreewell.
Matter of fact, no, it was both of them. They started lineup was Cassell, Hudson, Zerbiak, KG, and who was at the 5?
I don't know the center.
Was it Rashad Nesterovich?
Oh God!
I think it was Rashad. I think it was Rashad at the 5, bro.
This man, Josh, be in that sports memory bag, boy.
If I could trade in the sports knowledge for I don't know anything else, I'd do it. I need to start making some bread, man.
You know what? This is why I'm mad at ESPN for getting rid of that show. Remember they used to have like a sports.
Oh, Stump the Schwab. I'm on the Schwab head, bro.
Bro, no, not that one. It was one where people got paid. It was like 3 contestants, and they would like answer these questions about like old school sports stuff, and like they used to get paid from it. I'm like, it was.
Oh
like
yeah, I need that
Jeopardy.
back. I need that back.
Boy, Josh would have cooked up on there something so crazy. Who is the player that Lou Gehrig replaced because he was hungover? Josh, Wally Pipp. It was 1,000% Wally Pipp.
So it's surprising on the Timberwolves end too, because 1, we just never expect the Timberwolves to be good. 2, we saw that they wrote out the same starting lineup last year that they did this year. It's the same starting lineup, and we saw that it didn't work. So we wouldn't expect it to come out and work this year, but we also saw Anthony 100K Edwards, take that next step to be a superstar. You can make the argument that he's the best 2 guard in the league.
Send the video is so crazy. But also, I would agree he is the best 2 guard in the league. He been putting these opposing guards in hell.
And he's unguardable right now. And we knew that Anthony Edwards was going to be the man, but at the same time, we didn't see him do enough last season to think that he was going to come out this season and be the best two guard in the league. Like, it wasn't a gradual progression like we're used to seeing. Last year, he was a perennial, borderline all-star. To this year, he's an MVP candidate.
He just starting like his daddy. I mean, let's just. Michael Jordan is his pops. We could stop lying about that. But anywho, go ahead, Chris.
I just can't put him above D Book yet. Like, he gotta get deep in the playoff run before I put him above D Book. But
what has D Book done to make y'all love him like this?
Yeah,
he been in the finals at least though. He been in the finals. What? And he helped Chris Paul kick that addiction to the finals quicker. You talk about Josh said he was a cold turkey guy. CP say I'm the ultimate cold turkey guy. I got addicted to the finals and never hit it again. Never. But proceed. I don't. All right, but anyway, I definitely think the T-Wolves and the Thunder is more surprising, man. Let me break this down for you, bro. All of our listeners can't even name the Thunder start lineup. They can't even name the Thunder start lineup.
I don't even know if I can.
You name the Thunder start lineup, right?
Listen, I'm not going to sit up here and pretend like I can. I know that it's Chet. I know it's the what is it? Is he Egyptian or what's old boy's name? The other J-Dubs. I know J-Dubs is the one with the little thing that hang right here, right? He's that guy.
Yeah, Jalen Williams.
Yeah, I know it's and this another Williams in their starting lineup too, or am I wrong there? Is he off the bench? Is the other Williams off the bench?
The other Williams off the bench. I think his name is
Yeah.
Okay. So it's J-Dubs, Chet. What's the other tall, skinny, super skinny? He is a center power forward, interchangeable between the two. Is he off the bench too? He's
off the bench.
Okay, so it's Chet.
Poduskas or whatever. I forget.
It's Chet, SGA, Dort. Is Dort a starter?
Dort started last time I checked.
Dort a starter, Williams, and who's the fifth? Who am I missing?
Let's see.
Your favorite cereal. You know what? Your favorite.
Oh my God, bro. How did I forget Giddy?
Giddy.
How did I forget Giddy? But yeah, so
everybody wants to fuck the 15-year-old. That's one of the best edits on Twitter.
Whoa! What?
You ain't seen that edit on TikTok?
What?
Do you remember the show You? You seen You, right?
Yes.
You remember? I think it was the second season. With old girl that had the little sister or whatever. There was that one scene where she was like, everybody wants to, and they put some Josh Giddey highlights over there.
The sickest one was when they put his highlights behind some R. Kelly. I said, what's going on? But I'm gonna tell you this. I'm looking at this, and I'm gonna tell y'all boys are wrong. Because this is the Lions and the Browns have not both had 10 wins in the season since the 30s. That's crazy. That is insane to think about.
It's crazy, but we also expected it.
The last time we saw these two teams have 10 wins together at the same time, we were 20 or 30 years away from the NFL-AFL merger. Bro, come on, man. Come on. And here's the other part about it. Yes, the Lions part of this, not super surprising. Here's what is surprising about this. The Browns were in a division with Joe Burrow, Mike Tomlin, who has never had a losing season as a head coach.
And we still not.
And a Heisman winning, MVP winning, non-quarterbacky running back who happens to throw the ball sometimes in Lamar Jackson.
Man.
And you're telling me that this was supposed to happen?
I can't believe we still having Lamar not a quarterback talks, man.
Of course. You know how it goes.
Josh Allen a dual threat, though.
Listen, when you a naysayer, it's never going to work out in your favor.
Yeah,
you know
Naysayer should play quarterback, man.
Naysayer should never play quarterback. That's just not how it should work. But here's the other part of it. Not only is that your division, what if I told you you're going to lose your starting quarterback and not to the massage tables? You're going to lose your starting running back. Boop, pop goes the weasel in terms of his ACL. And and your starting tight end that's a star gonna burn half his face off like Harvey Dent. And you're telling me that this was supposed to be an 11-win team. Come on, man. Come on.
I told y'all before the season started, the Browns are good at every position. I told y'all that.
Here's the thing. I'm not disagreeing with you at all, but I'm saying when you drop in the full context, even if you say Joe Burrow is hurt, okay, but still their quarterback is hurt. And not only was their quarterback hurt, they didn't even land on Joe Flacco immediately. Joe Flacco was at the crib. He was finna be a guest on Facts Over Acts. Like, bro, what are we talking about here? Bro was chilling at the crib and came up off the street because the first two backups they tried were toilet water. And so they were like, all right, man, just call somebody. Damn, call somebody.
Hey, you know what's crazy? The Jets could have got Joe Flacco. The Jets could have got
anybody.
The Jets really could have got anybody. They could have had Justin Fields. They could have had Justin Fields. But instead, they wanted Zach Wilson. They wanted the MILF Hunter. They got him. Congratulations.
Oh, my God, bro. The amount of strays today is crazy.
So it's been too long. The strays is bottled up. It's like a volcano. You know what I mean? We ain't got the strays.
About to erupt, man.
They all coming out at once. This is Mount Vesuvius, baby. So if you telling me that you expected that Browns team in that context, even if you said Joe Burrow went down, that Bengals team is still good all over the place. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, a defense that is still very good with Jermaine Pratt, B.J. Hill, multiple guys in that secondary that can get it done. And you're telling me that you expected it? Come on, man. Come on. Stop playing. Both of those teams that we talked about on the NBA side, didn't the Thunder make the play-in last year or no?
I believe so. I can't even remember.
No, they did. They lost.
They made the play-in.
They lost to the T-Wolves.
And the Nuggets, when asked about who is their toughest matchup in the playoffs, Jamal Murray and Jokic agreed it was the Timberwolves. That was a team that was supposed to be this. Those were two teams that were on the precipice of success.
Yeah, they were both in the play-in. The Timberwolves was the AC. The Thunder got knocked out. They won it too. That's crazy.
Meanwhile, the Lions started off last year 0-10-1. Bro, what? Come on, man. Come on. The Browns are doing
but
this. But
how they ended the season? The Lions ended the season hot.
Joe Flacco was
right. They ended hot. They started hot.
Joe Flacco was at the crib doing hot yoga and fighting over Stanley Cups, bro. What are we doing here? Come on, man. Come on. Stop playing. All right, you know what?
Speaking of Stanley Cups, that's a business move right there. $750 million they made in a year.
Okay, all right. So let's just say it like this.
Stanley Cups hit the street like crack in the 80s. That's just what they said. That's the suburban version.
Neither season has started, right? Let's say neither season has started. This is before the season. We doing a Facts Over X episode. I'm going to ask you what's more surprising: the Lions winning the division and the Browns being in the wild card. That's not a crazy statement to make before the season.
The wild card not crazy, but that's underselling what they're doing, because you can make the wild card at 7-9. Like if it's a bad year, you can make the wild card at 7.
Okay, let's just say it like this. Let's say the Lions win a division and the Browns got 10 wins.
Right.
The Thunder and the Timberwolves being the 1 and 2 seed in the Western Conference. The same Western Conference that got Denver, Golden State, Los Angeles, Phoenix. You for sure can't even start lining up on Minnesota.
I'm standing. I couldn't name the starting lineup in Minnesota. Stop playing.
It's only 3 people you can name. Give me the other 2. I'll wait.
Stop playing, dog.
I'll wait. Go ahead. Who their point guard?
Is Mike Conley?
Give us the third. Give us. Okay, that's their point guard. Come on.
Mike Conley. Okay,
that's their point guard. Come on.
Is it McDaniels or Nas Reed? Who's the 4 or the 3? Right?
You thinking about it? You couldn't name the Thunder starting lineup, and you thinking about. It's McDaniels, yes.
You can do a better job at naming the 52-man Browns and Lions roster than you can the 15-man Thunder.
And hold on. You want to know the craziest part about this?
Huh?
Joe Flacco wasn't even on the 52-man when the season started.
So what?
He wasn't in there in the middle of the season. And you telling me that I'm supposed to be surprised surprised that I couldn't name the start. Man, stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. David Njoku came into practice. Hello? Y'all saw the movie with John Travolta and what's his name? John Travolta and who's the other guy that he was in Sorcerer's Apprentice? Who was the other white dude? Help me out. It's he was in Superbad too. Not Superbad. He was in Kick-Ass.
McLovin? You talking about McLovin?
No, not McLovin. He was in Kick-Ass. Nicolas Cage. Face Off. That's how that boy came to practice. They star came to practice like that and never missed a beat. Never, man. Stop playing with me, dog. Stop playing. Listen.
Hey, man.
All right.
I was right about the Giants last year. I'm right about the Browns this year. I'm telling you, out of the sleeper picks, I be telling y'all, I know them for a reason.
So, and let me tell you this. Okay. One thing that I was always right about, I told everybody Lamar was going to be the guy. I told everybody Lamar was going to win them a Super Bowl sooner or later. I told everybody what was going to happen when they got him some help. And to be honest, they really ain't get him that much help. But we ain't going to talk about that right now. Fellas, let me ask you this. Is the MVP Lamar's to lose, number one? And number two, are the Ravens your favorite to win the Super Bowl? Talk to me.
One, yes. After that game against the 49ers, if we hear any talk about anybody besides Lamar being MVP, we already know what's up, because that's insane that anybody could possibly even sniff the MVP besides Lamar. Yeah. In my opinion, the only competition that he had, in my opinion, because I'm never putting Brock Purdy in that conversation. You could throw that out the window. He's never going to be MVP. Christian McCaffrey, who's a running back, and Tyreek Hill, who's a wide receiver, was Lamar's only competition to be MVP. The Ravens just smacked the Dolphins by a Madden score. You know, your little cousin come over and he begging you to play Madden on Thanksgiving. And you know you're going to beat him. He's 7. That's what that Ravens-Dolphins score looked like. And they just smacked the 49ers. There's no conversation that should be had as far as who's the MVP. It's Lamar Jackson. And yes, Lamar is winning the Super Bowl. I mean, you can't, the Super Bowl is iffy. It's a 1-game elimination in the NFL playoffs. It's a toss up. But at the same time, we're seeing what the Ravens are doing against these top dogs. Every person that you coming into the season, they going to win the Super Bowl. Dolphins smacked. San Francisco smacked. Didn't they just smack the Eagles?
I don't think
they smacked the Lions. They smacked
the Lions smacked. The Ravens serious.
Them boys is not playing. They showing up to the stadium in all black forces playing deads, because them boys is in trouble. So Chris, talk to me.
I agree with y'all. It's Lamar's to lose for sure. But hear me out, kids, before you jump on the table and jump on me, right? Hear me out. You're a big fella. I don't want no smoke.
Here we go, man. Here we go. You see how I do you when you big? Don't get too aggressive now. Don't get too aggressive. I'll call the cops quick. You know how they handle Naysayer. How they handle the big
like, you know what you went through on holidays that you ain't ever tell nobody about?
Yeah.
Every time you eat a plate, everybody like, he tearing that up. He can have one plate with some salad on it. He tearing that.
And don't let you have a plate with salad. Bro, why you playing around with that salad? You know you want some real... No, I like spinach. What is you doing? Damn. But go ahead.
But all right, so hear me out, kids. Hear me out, right? It's Lamar's, he got it for sure. But I saw one scenario where he didn't get it. One scenario, right? The Dolphins absolutely have to win this game against the Bills to end the season, right? If Tyreek Hill was to get a 3-touchdown, 200-yard game, I don't see a world where you don't give Tyreek Hill the MVP. He's doing stuff that a receiver has never done. And we have some all-time great receivers. If he didn't miss 2 games, he would have hit 2,000 yards this year, right? He would have hit 2,000 yards. So if he goes absolutely berserk in this last game, I think he's the runner-up. And let's be honest, y'all. Let's keep it a buck. If Christian McCaffrey was a brother, he would be the MVP favorite right now. If Christian McCaffrey was a brother, he would be the MVP favorite right now.
I swear to God, Chris. I swear to God.
I said chill on me.
And this is I said that I was gonna start the new year being like more, being much more direct. Okay, and so I'm not gonna put no flowers on this. I'm not gonna make it powdery at all for you. Josh Guyton's first move as co-host of Facts Over Acts was to add on Chris Allen, who was on crack. Are you out of your mind, brother? Let me let you in on something that happens in the NFL a lot. Right or wrong, it doesn't make sense, but it happens. Do you know what gets weighed in a lot into who goes where and who wins what in terms of MVP? Head-to-head matchups. Does it make sense? No, because 9 times out of 10, the MVP is going to be an offensive player, and offensive players don't play against each other. That's just never going to happen, right? But it gets factored in. Chris, do you remember what Tyreek Hill did against the Ravens?
Yeah, he laid an egg. Yeah, he ain't do nothing. But I'm
6 receptions, 76 yards. Whoop-de-doo. Whoop-de-doo. Bro put up Sam Laporta numbers. Good for him. Do you know what Lamar did against the Dolphins, Chris?
He went absolutely berserk.
18 for 21. 5 touchdowns. The boy had more touchdowns than incompletions. Do you know what his passer rating was, Chris? 158.3. Do you know what the highest passer rating you can possibly get is? Yeah. Do you know what the highest passer rating? 158.3. If your only pass in the game is a 99-yard touchdown pass, it's going to be a 158.3. Lamar got that. But, you know what, Chris? Let's go to the other guy, right? Let's pretend like this la-la land you live in where somehow being a white man in America is hurting Christian McCaffrey. Let's pretend. Let me go with you, okay? Head-to-head, those two teams played, didn't they, Josh? Didn't they, Chris?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
That happened not too long ago, didn't it?
Yeah, pretty fresh.
What did Christian McCaffrey do in that game? I think he had a pretty good game, don't y'all? I think he did all right.
He did okay.
20 touches for 131 yards and 1 touchdown. You know what Lamar Jackson did in that game?
Let's hear.
He went berserk.
297 yards, 2 touchdowns, longest run being 30 yards, in which he made Fred Warner look like Fred Flintstone. That boy was doing the yabba dabba doo trying to get the car started to catch, bro. And you're telling me that that's not your MVP? Again.
I see what you did there, Giz. I see what you did there. I'm talking about the full body work. Lamar has had a few stink games just like they had stink games this year.
And here's the problem. Chris, I actually agree with you that in a world where everything was fair and even, there would absolutely be much more of a conversation about MVP. But we know that the fair is where you go to get on rides that'll kill you or eat food that'll kill you. That's what the fair is. The fair ain't nothing that exists in the world. The reality is MVP is a quarterback award, number 1. Number 2, this is the best quarterback on the best team in the league, number 2. Number 3, he's doing it in a way that we've never seen it done before. And number 4, he's got the head-to-head wins where he absolutely dominated, set the world on fire against the other MVP candidates. You can't do nothing with the boy. Dread it, run from it. LaMarvelous arrives all the same, okay? That's what's going to happen all the same. And I'm just telling you the truth. I'm just telling you the truth that need to be told. But speaking of telling the truth, Katt Williams was on Club Shay Shay, okay? Now, for those of you who don't know, Club Shay Shay is one of Shannon Sharp's podcasts where he interviews various celebrities, and he's had multiple kings of comedy on so far, you know. All of them that are still living, except I don't think he had D.L. Hughley on yet.
I don't believe so.
So he had on Steve Harvey and he had on Cedric the Entertainer in the past, talked to him about various subjects. And this time, they had none other than Katt Williams, a pimp named Slickback. Katt Williams on this here episode of Club Shay Shay. Josh, do you have the sound?
I do.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Just because the only clip that I found is like 30 plus minutes that's talking specifically because he was on a tangent for a minute.
You know what? Just let us get the first 3 minutes of it. Let us
Okay.
just get the first 3 minutes, and then we gonna.
And I
we
needed
gonna
you to
chime
know
in
why I came by.
our
Yeah, I
thoughts
need
and
you to tell us why.
opinions.
All right, well,
People
it's
know
playing
I
right
don't
now. The
go
people can hear it,
everywhere.
but
I'm
y'all
not
already know what's going
interested in
on. So
talking to people
Absolutely,
unless it's like a
absolutely.
Larry
Just cut it
King
off at
or
3
somebody
minutes,
of an amazing ilk that I would actually want to go talk to in real life.
Okay.
Boy, it's
I don't do it so I can sell product, and I got things to sell, so let me come talk. You have a great product here, and as a fan base, we love the attention that you spend on the guest. We love how much work you've done, how well you know them, how prepared you are. The same things that we liked about you in football. You brought that on over to here, and that's why it resonates. And the reason I had to come is because you've made a safe place for the truth to be told. You know what I mean?
Thank you. I appreciate
and
that.
I have watched all of these lowbrow comedians come here and disrespect you in your face and tell you straight up lies. I'm talking about
Lowbrow
things that have
comedians is
never
crazy.
been heard in all of Black
Nuts.
Hollywood. They feel comfortable sitting here lying to you about it.
You gonna set the record straight?
Are you kidding me? You let Ricky Smiley sit here and you said out that mouth, you stole Friday After Next, the one I was in. I wish all of America fumbled a bit when that happened. And then he said some stuff that we haven't heard in 100 years in Hollywood. You ain't say nothing. This man told you he had Katt Williams' role. He was gonna be Money Mike.
Wait.
And Katt Williams was gonna be the Santa Claus. Now let's 3 quick points.
3 quick.
You mean in Hollywood they cast a 5'5" black Santa Claus that weigh 145 pounds? That's your story. Your story is the Ricky Smiley that couldn't even do curse words because he had a Christian fan base. He was
That
gonna
is
play
some
the
nasty
pimp.
work. I've never seen
Why
the
you
short
didn't
film,
ask
but
him why
also,
has he
Ricky
played a
Smiley
woman
was
in
a
more
crackhead, which
movies
we
than
have
he's
also
played a man?
yeah.
Well, I didn't know
He shouldn't be able. You wouldn't let a athlete that been on steroids talk about one of the greats. Ricky Smiley can't act because Ricky Smiley can't act. He told you the story about when the movie came out. Where did he say
All right,
he
I
watched it?
think that's
At
enough.
home.
I
He wasn't
I
even
think
at
that's
the...
enough. Even though we only got into the Ricky Smiley portion of this, there were many more things said. A la Cedric the Entertainer has 4 specials, and all of them were so bad they cannot be found on Netflix nor Tubi. I'll repeat that again for the audience. Cedric the Entertainer. By the way, me saying I'll repeat that for the audience is literally quoting Katt Williams verbatim. Cedric the Entertainer has 4 specials that were so bad they cannot be found on Netflix or Tubi. He also went on to talk about how Bernie Mac was the only funny king of comedy in comparison to Steve Harvey and Cedric the Entertainer.
Do y'all
And
agree with that?
Steve Harvey attempted to steal every role that Bernie Mac ever had, and even some that Cedric the Entertainer had. And Cedric the Entertainer stole his joke, and has never written a funny joke. And he's supposed to be able to sing, dance, and do comedy, and he was unable to do any of the 3. And that is me being very nice, because there was also a part where he said he looks like a walrus, and he was gonna put hands on bro next time he saw him. Fellas, what is y'all take on this situation?
All right, so I'm gonna get somewhat serious for a minute. So,
Talk to him.
although a lot of what Katt Williams was saying, I interpret as the truth, just based on the outside looking in. Like, he said a lot of stuff that was out of pocket and off base, but at the same time, we live in a world where we're not used to hearing that. But he didn't say anything that was necessarily wrong when it comes to the comedy front on it. Katt Williams is one of the funniest comedians that I've ever seen personally, and a lot of stuff he was saying about Bernie Mac and about other comedians, I kind of agree with. Like, Bernie Mac, the only king of comedy that I find funny. The other one's got some funny jokes here and there, but I'm not about to listen to an hour-long Steve Harvey special. That's crazy. But I will say, we've heard millions of stories about people that's getting involved in Hollywood, getting involved in show business, that talk about all this weird stuff going on. You know, talk about the ins and out of the industry, talk about being a pawn, talk about these, you know, the stuff that he was talking about. Oh, they part of this society and this and that, and that's why they blowing up. That's why Steve Harvey got 7 TV shows, which, where there's smoke, there's fire. I can see that being a thing. However, we've seen like 8 million podcasts with these people that's like, quote unquote, scorned by the industry or blackballed from the industry. And they're always attacking other people in the same art form. Yeah. That let's say all of us work for this sports mega industry and we fell out. And the reason that we fell out is because these people that's in charge of these positions or these people that's in power pitted us against each other. Why would I get on a podcast and be like, I don't like Chris and I don't like Kenton, instead of tackling the issue that is the actual industry itself? This man didn't get on that podcast to talk about nobody in these industries that was offering them all of these weird things to get these movie roles, or he didn't go in there and say anything about these people. Oh, sorry, just played it again. He didn't say anything about these people that's like in positions of power in Hollywood that's doing all of this weird stuff that he hates so much. But the same black dudes that's comedians that's trying to make a couple of dollars to feed their family, like those are the people that you're attacking in order to like make this point. And it's not only Katt Williams that's doing it. We've seen it a million times. We've seen Monique go on this rant for 3 years straight about how she deserved more money than D.L. Hughley. What D.L. Hughley supposed to say that if they offer him a bag for a stand-up? No, Monique deserve it more, so I'm not going to provide this for my family. Why don't you get on the podcast? Why don't you use your platform to talk about the people that's lowballing you on these contracts?
In all fairness, Monique did point out that it was Lee Daniels and them that was like, yo, she should not be getting paid this or that older break.
She was complaining that she wasn't getting $50 million for a stand-up. I'm not paying Monique $50 million to do nothing.
Hey, listen.
You talking about Precious Mama?
Listen.
Not paying Monique $50 million. I ain't never seen somebody say, hey, turn that Monique on.
See, and you know what? This is where I got to step in at, because the metrics that people are using to determine whether or not Katt Williams is right is very strange. Like, people keep saying, oh, Ced was never funny, and like, you ain't never heard nobody say turn on that Cedric the Entertainer stand up. How many times have you ever been around a group of people and they said turn on any stand up? How many times have you ever been around somebody and they said, hey, turn on that new Katt Williams? No joke. How many times have you ever
only person that don't work for is Dave Chappelle.
Hold on.
Only person that don't work for is Dave Chappelle. Only person that don't work for is Dave Chappelle. But you're right, Gibbs. You're right. Nobody.
That's what I'm saying. People not just like, bro, Bernie Mac was one of the funniest all time. I've never heard nobody be like, hey, bro, turn on that Bernie special.
At the same time, I don't think we in that age group though, because by the time we was around people that's like setting a vibe, because stand-up comedy is almost kind of dead. It's not what it was before. The only person that's still dropping specials that's considered a big deal is Dave Chappelle.
But you get my point. And even with Dave Chappelle, when is the last time you heard somebody say, hey, bro, turn on that new Dave Chappelle?
When them first Netflix ones was dropping, the past couple ain't been like that.
I have not heard a single soul ever say, turn on that Dave Chappelle in terms of the Netflix and all that.
No, those first two Netflix specials, like I was in multiple settings and it was either already on or somebody was like, yo, that Dave Chappelle got to be on around older people, younger people. I've had that happen more than once.
But either way it goes, that's a very disingenuous. And this is what I'm going to say. This is what I'm going to say. Katt Williams is an amazing storyteller, and he's amazing at telling the truth for like 90% of it and then mixing in an outrageous lie for 10%, and nobody going to check him on the lie. Like nobody, because the rest of it was true. Nobody, that man said he was reading 3,000 books a year at 8 years old. Talking about he runs.
I still haven't listened to the whole show. I got it saved.
Talking about he runs a 4.3. Brother, we saw you get beat up by a 10-year or what? What was he? 17? What was it, dude? 17 or 16?
Yeah, he was young. He was a kid.
Brother, we saw you get beat up by a kid. You're not that type of physical specimen, brother. You're also 55. Daryl Washington, widely seen. I'm sorry, Daryl Green, who played for Washington, widely seen as the fastest player in NFL history. He ran a 4.5 at 40, and people were like, "Oh my God, this is insane. We've never seen this before." You telling me Come on, dog. Come on. So it leaves me with the same impression of like some of the stuff Katt was saying, absolutely legitimate and all that, but like the internet needs the ability to understand that everything ain't for everybody, and it don't mean that like it's the worst thing in the world. Like Sacred Entertainer may not be funny to everybody. That's fine. It's like me with grape juice. I love grape juice. White grape, regular grape, either way. I'm a like that's it for me. That's not everybody's favorite juice. Some people like orange juice, some people like apple juice. I'm not about to sit up here and say those juices are not, they're terrible. The fact that this man is trying, not Katt Williams in and of itself, but I'm saying the fact that Katt Williams talking like this has people on the internet saying, oh, Ced was never funny. He ain't never been in nothing funny. That man is a multimillionaire off making people laugh. It sure as hell ain't for being pretty. Let's just be honest with ourselves here, right? Like it's certain dudes, you could say Will Smith got money like that because he looked like that. That's when in his prime, that was a good looking, same thing for Denzel. You could say that's a good looking brother. Ain't nobody talking about no Cedric the Entertainer was a sex symbol, bro. He's funny. He's a funny guy. Like that's,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Kevin Hart, not funny to me. He's a millionaire off making people laugh. I gotta give him his props. Hey, there's something there. And the last thing I'm gonna say is this. He said, these people lying on me talking about I was on drugs. Brother, you've been arrested 10 times. If you got arrested 10 times sober, I think there's a bigger problem here. I think there's a much bigger problem we need to discuss. So, you know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, I appreciate that it was funny. And I'm never against people telling the truth. If that's his side of the story and that's the truth, tell your truth, brother. Tell your truth. Talk your talk. But it's just one of those moments where I think the internet is putting too much stock into something that, like, at the end of the day, yes, it's funny. Yes, a lot of that may be true. And yeah, some of that we knew to be true for years because everybody knew about Steve Harvey trying to take all the Bernie roles. We've all heard that for like decades now.
Right.
But again, some of that was kind of like, all right, bro. All right, now. You not finna just blaze past me that like, your mama lost 4 toes in Vietnam. Your mom is 55, brother. She wasn't. That Vietnam wasn't rolling when she was at that age. Like, what are we doing here? You know
I didn't listen to the whole show. Did he really say that?
No, he didn't really say that.
I was about to say,
Katt Williams ended up himself as 55. It'd be impossible for it to be 55. You see what I'm saying? It's like your homie that tell you like a bunch of truths and then be like, oh yeah, me and LeBron cool. I was just in this crib the other day.
And we all had that one kid at like elementary school that swore everybody was his cousin.
Bro.
Yeah, Tracy McGrady, my cousin. I swear to God.
Bro, I had a brother telling me Chris Paul was his cousin when Chris Paul was like just getting to the league. I'm like, bro, shut up, bro.
I swear, bro, on my grandma's grave, I played with a dude in college that said that he was best friends with Bronny and him and LeBron was cool and he used to go over their house all the time and all this and that. I'm like, my brother in Christ, you are from Charlotte, North Carolina. You and LeBron, how would y'all even cross paths to interact? And more importantly, in the brief moment where y'all cross paths to interact, all of a sudden, Bronny just gonna glaze you immediately and be like, "Hey, this my man's 50 grand. Like I need to, anywhere I go, bro, going with me." Come on, dog. Come on, dog. What are we doing here? So you know what I mean? Like that's just my take on it. Chris, what you thinking, man?
I'm not gonna hold you, bro. Y'all know how I am. I'm black power, black everything, right? This is one of the moments where, as black folks, we gotta turn the other cheek, and we gotta.
I don't know. I gotta hit you with the Umar. Are you biracial? Are you a buddy hopper? Go ahead.
Nah. Y'all know me better than that. But like, legit,
I heard about you up in East Lansing, bro. I heard if it wasn't snowing, Chris wasn't going. That's what the street said. That's what the street said.
Nah, you ain't heard. I'm allergic to Snow White. So say what you need to say. But anyway, this is that moment. It was where I really challenged us as a society, us as black folk. Why we gotta put each other down and put each other up? Like I talk a lot of mess to my friend group, and I am a little arrogant at times. I'm working on it. 2024, I'm gonna work on it, but. What I will not do is if you need help, I'll be there. Like Guyton and Gibbs both know. If they ever needed me to pull some strings for them, I will do it, right? I'm not the type of guy that's going to not look out for you and put myself on the pedestal, right? I'm going to open doors for me, of course, but I also bring people along the way. I done got people, so many people can't even count on my fingers how many people I done got jobs, right? I done helped out a lot of people. I done looked out for people, bro. I answer the phone if you need me to answer the phone, bro. I literally can't stand when we gotta put other people down. Even if it is some lies, let him lie. You know the truth. Be all right with that, right? Be all right with that. And just like you said, Gibbs, he ain't funny because he look good. He's funny because he's funny. People paid money. Cedric Entertainer also had a movie career.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Also had a movie career. He ain't just doing this just for his health. It was his job, and he was good at it. He was a king of comedy. Okay? Steve Harvey got 7 shows because Steve Harvey always on TV. He always been on TV.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, let that hate go. Let that hate go, big fella. Let that hate go, Cat. They must have been playing basketball. They ain't pick him up, and he was like, "Nah, bro, I'm about to go talk my stuff."
And here's the deal. I'm not finna sit up here and act like, oh, folk, nobody threw shots at him first for him to be mad, because Kevin Hart was on the Breakfast Club not too long ago, talking about him, and Steve Harvey had said some things that he didn't want to hear, and all that wasn't true according to him, and same with Cedric the Entertainer. But I mean, at a certain point, bro, like, and also we gotta have a conversation about it, and let's just be very honest about this. Club Shay Shay is definitely a gossip show for men. It's definitely a gossip show for men, and it's very.
I'm not gonna. I think that's what he's going for. I think that's what he's going for.
It's very entertaining. It's a very entertaining gossip show.
That's what works.
Let's just be honest, bro. We living in a modern day Gossip Girl. It's just for black men. I ain't mad at it. I ain't mad at it. I ain't gonna. Shannon Sharp, keep doing your thing. I'm not saying, anybody who know me know I don't believe in gender roles. I don't believe that, like, oh, gossip is for women or da-da-da. There's a lane in the entertainment industry. There's a lane for almost everything. There's a lane for male gossip, and Shannon is stepping in to fill that role. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it at all. Like, hey, it makes
the money's still green, ain't it? Money's still green.
The money's still green, and you ain't hurting nobody to get it. I ain't mad at you. Go ahead and get it. I would love to hear. People talk about Jeff Teague all the time, talking about, bro, his podcast is terrible. He just talked about how everybody was better than him all the time. It's weird. So, them stories be hilarious.
I will say, have y'all listened to the full podcast, Jeff Teague podcast?
Jeff Teague?
Yeah,
but it got like good moments. It got good moments.
Like the honestly, Jeff Teague kind of like the only good part of that podcast.
I was just about to say, like, the
the whole show is not like, the whole show is almost insufferable. But when Jeff Teague get to talking about his stories, like, I live for that. But the rest of the show,
it's like listening to Rio, the OG, and them back in like 2013. Like, it was like Rio was the only one that was good. Everybody else was like, bro, what is this?
You know who other podcasts like that? And I hate to say this, but the Point Four, Iguodala and ET be the trash when they guests be outshining them on every podcast they got, bro.
Listen,
I
think that's because they podcasts are so laid back. It's not really like they just having like a conversation. It don't really be. It's not that intriguing.
If we're talking podcasts that we want to see like change or somebody get rid of. I don't ever want to hear Rashad McCants come across my airwaves again.
He got a podcast.
He's on Gil's Arena. He was like on there for.
Yeah, he is. He be on there saying ridiculous claims.
I swear to God on my grandmother's grave, I'm not listening to that show while Rashad McCants is on. I kid you not.
I forgot about that.
When that man said Hamidman has a chance to beat the Denver Nuggets. That's all right. That's all right. When that man said, what did he say? He said the reason teams ain't signed me is because I was dating a Kardashian. My brother in Christ. You think the Suns was finna cut D-Book? You think that's what you think? Chris Humphries played for like 5 years after marrying Kim. Brother, you were ass. You were a 2-pack of ass and nobody wanted you. For him to sit up there and get mad, bro, that, again, I have never heard of a more delusional person in my life. For him to talk about, oh, I already had the spot, Pat Bev. You had to try out. And yet, Pat Bev got drafted, and you went to go play in Yemen. Brother, my brother in Christ, seek help. Go seek help. Go seek help. Anyway, I know y'all tired of us talking about Rashard McCants and Andre Iguodala and everybody on the podcast except Jeff T. And somehow the Lions and the Browns being good, not being surprising. But come on back next week and the week after that. And the week after that, we don't give a piss about nothing but the pride, baby.
Nothing but the dad. Go Blue.